You're watching today's video technical update presented by FX Times. It is Friday, March 19th, 2010. I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here, and I'll go over some developments over in the Forex market. Another Friday is upon us, and I'll be looking at Japanese yen crosses as I have been doing so to end the week. As I mentioned last week, the commodity currencies are staying strong against the yen, but the euro and sterling were both candidates to fade against yen weakness. This materialized as the euro yen and the pound yen pair dropped to end the week, but the Canadian dollar yen and the Aussie yen both held their ground. The dollar yen, the greenback yen, is in an indecisive mode near resistance. So there is bias for a bearish attempt next week, but the market has not given such signals yet. This video is being produced at about 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time, near the close of this week's trading session. First, a look at the euro-yen pair. We saw yen weakness last week carry through to start the week here, but the market eventually sort of channeled down here and accelerated towards the end of the week. So there's definitely euro weakness, yen strength in this pair, and the market seems poised to retest this previous low here. Now looking at the daily, you see that the bearish outlook, actually let me zoom out a little, the market, if it breaks below this previous low here at 119.80, the market would be poised to continue declining to test the 115 and even lower 114 area, which is a major bottom established in 2008, 2009. So the euro yen continues to be weak after testing this previous high and the 50 moving average in the daily. This was also the 38.2% retracement, so very sort of a minor sideways correction, and we'll see if the market can break below this low here. Looking at the 4-hour time frame at again 119.80, 119.70. Now the game changer is if the market rallies from say 120-150 basically before reaching this previous bottoming action, and then rallies. If that rallies and breaks our power line here, it would become a neckline for a upside down reverse head and shoulder, which would actually give a bullish projection that is still within a bearish it still would be within this bearish mode. So when the week starts, look for the price action to maybe bottom a little bit higher than the previous low here, but if it continues, then anticipate further bearish continuation. But if the market is supported, let's say at the 61.8%, right above this previous consolidation area, then you may want to start thinking, anticipating a possible reverse head and shoulder formation. At the moment, the momentum is turning, so the signs are bearish. So look for that first before looking for the reverse head and shoulders. Here's a look at the pound yen pair. It's also weak like the euro yen pair, as it is breaking this rising trend line. A confirmation of this break and the ability of the stochastic here to reach oversold would give us a strong indication of bearish continuation. See, the market came, tested our 200 moving average here. In the daily time frame, you see this sort of two waves up. So this is a retracement pattern that has completed at 139.50 before going up above 139.50, tested 38.2% retracement, and the price action shows continuation. So there's a swing projection towards the 128.20 area. We see in the 4-hour time frame a confirmation would be a break and possibly a pullback that's weak, and then the next decline will likely continue our intermediate decline. Okay, so right now we have some short-term bearish action, and we just needed to we need some further decline and a pullback to confirm our intermediate outlook towards 128.20. So while the euro and the pound yen pairs have been dropping to end the week, the Aussie yen pairs held its ground above this previous high here, near 82. What level is this? Near 82.50. So this level has held up, and the market continues to stay above, even with the current yen strength. So, as I mentioned, the Aussie and the Canadian dollar has been strong, and if you see yen strength against them, they are the two candidates to fade against that. So when the yen is weak again, and this is in the short intermediate term, when the yen is weak again, the Aussie and Canadian dollar pairs have the best chance of continuing its rally. Now looking at the daily, you see that this is there's still some ways to go, a little more to go to the 85 area for this swing projection. Currently there's definitely some topping action, and the stochastic is overbought, so you might want to wait for some further retracement and wait for the momentum to show, to not show overbought conditions, and then consider a further rally towards 85. Okay, so but one thing you might want to note is that the market failed to reach our channel resistance here, as you'll see. And I'm going to switch over now to the Canadian yen pair. You see in the Canadian yen pair, it was enough. It did hit the resistance, channel resistance, but it is a flatter channel at that. Now in the daily, so here's the Aussie yen pair in the daily, and I'm going to switch now to the Canadian yen pair. Okay, so the Canadian yen pair actually already finished its projection. It's stronger right now than the Aussie yen pair, and as you can see here, it continues to make higher highs, while the Aussie yen pair has seen some topping action. Actually has seen a lower high. Let me just show that again. You see here, this second high here is actually a little bit lower, so there is a loss of momentum, while the Canadian dollar continues to maintain that strength. So out of the two candidates, the Aussie and the Canadian dollar, it appears that the Canadian dollar has more likelihood of continuing its rally, although you may want to this moving average here should act as a support, and if it's broken, then you should allow for some short-term yen strength and before considering the continuation. And that goes for Aussie dollar too. Right now we're waiting for yen strength to materialize and show an exhaustion before getting back onto the bullish outlook for these Canadian dollar yen and the Aussie yen pair. Oh yeah, okay, so looking at the daily, we do see that if the market does top off here, we may continue this sideways action. But if the market continues to be strong, look for topping action here at the 90.50 level. So even though that the Canadian yen pair has a better chance of rallying, it is near an important resistance level. Looking at the Aussie yen, you see that there's after 85, there's still some ways. You could still reach 86 before hitting this previous high. So Canadian yen stronger, but closer to the resistance area, and Aussie yen nearing a swing projection. That's all the time I have for today. For the US dollar, Japanese yen, and other pairs analysis updates, visit the weekly technical update on fxtimes.com. Once again, I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here at FX Times, wishing you a great weekend.